Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I am here today to explain to you the concept behind finding the x and y-intercept coordinates. Alright, so right here I have a Cartesian plane. Some will call this a graph, but that's the same thing. When you're given a graph and you're given an equation in the form y equal mx plus b, or ax plus by is equal to c, which is the standard form of the equation of a line, or the equation of the line in the form y equal mx plus b. So we are given a line, all right? So this line is y equal negative mx plus b, because it's a negative slope, so it's a negative mx. All right, guys, so as it says x-intercept, y-intercept, we want to identify the point where this line cuts the x-axis and the y-axis. All right, so for us to do that, we want to know these points right here. And we know that every point has a xy value, meaning x point and a y point. So you go move left to right for the x and up down for the y. So we want to find these points, guys. All right, so there are a few things we need to know about the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Let me use some real numbers here. For the y-intercept, x is always equal to 0. X is equal to 0. Let me explain this to you. So if I want to know the point for this one here, the xy value here, I have to know the x value and the y value. So this is our origin, so x is equal to 0 here. So when x is equal to 0 here, we move 1 unit up. So this point would be 0, 1. All right, then if I move to the 2, it's going to be 0, 2, and this one 0, 3. So x is always equal to 0 on the y-axis. If you look at the horizontal axis here, or the x-axis, y is always equal to 0. Let's prove that. So for this point, where the 1 is, this will be 1, 0. If I'm asked to list a coordinate for this point, 1, 0. How do I know it's 0? I know that this is x. This is the point x is equal to 1. But do I go up on the y-axis after having my point x equal 1? No. I stay right there. So it's a 0 movement on the y-axis. So y is equal to 0 on this line. And so for this point, I'll have 2, 0 for my coordinate. So this video will help you to identify the coordinates of the x and the y-intercept. And so I place it here in worded form, where I say that the x-intercept is a point where the line cuts the x-axis, where y is always 0. So y equals 0 here. And for the y-intercept, this is the point where the line cuts the y-axis, where x is always equal to 0. So guys, once you understand that the x-intercept y equals 0, and for the y-intercept x is equal to 0, you can complete any given question with that understanding. So we have to bear those two things in mind. So for our first example, we are asked to find the coordinates. So we have to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So for the x-intercept, and don't be afraid to write every step, guys, because once you can track your steps to make an arrow, it will be very simple for us to identify that. So for the x-intercept, y is equal to 0. That means anywhere I see y in this equation, I'm going to replace that with 0. So 0 is equal to 4x subtract 2. Now I want to find the value of x. So these two terms, they're subtracting, and so to get rid of this negative 2, I would have to add 2 to both sides. And this is basically finding I'm solving for x. So you have to do the opposite operation of subtraction, which is addition. So these -2 plus +2 will cancel. I'm going to bring down my 4x is equal to 0 plus 2 is 2. Okay? Our goal is to find x, but these two are multiplying, so I have to divide by the coefficient, which is 4. If you don't understand how to do linear equation, I have some videos here. You can go and watch them. And it is very simple. So let's cancel. So x is equal to 1/2. So the coordinate, guys, has an xy value. So tell me the x value first, which is 1/2. Some people say 0.5, that's okay. And the y value is 0. So that's your first coordinate for the x-intercept. Let's go for the y-intercept now. And so for the y-intercept, x is always equal to 0. We have to remember this, guys. So in the equation, I'm going to rewrite it here. In the equation given, and where I see x, I'm going to put 0. So y is equal to 4 times 0 minus 2. 4 times 0 is 0, so y is equal to a -2. So the coordinate, guys, remember, x value, y value, is going to be 0 for the x and -2 for the y. See, guys, it's very simple. Let's try another question. Y equal x plus 3. And remember, guys, let me just make a little note here. This x has a coefficient of 1, and we know that 1 here would be the slope, and this will be the intercept, the y-intercept. And there's another short way of doing this, but if you want me to show you the shorter version, you can let me know, and I will explain that to you. So for the x-intercept, y is equal to 0. So in this, y is equal to, so 0 is equal to x plus 3. Let's go ahead and find the value for x. So subtract 3 from both sides because it's a +3. So this cancels. So x is equal to a -3. The xy value is going to be -3, which is x, and 0. Let's go ahead and find the y-intercept. And remember, guys, for the y-intercept, x is always equal to 0. So in the equation given, in where I see x, I'm going to put 0. So y is equal to 0 plus 3. Y is equal to 3. The xy value, x is 0 and y is 3. And there you go. You are finished. So what if you were given one in the standard form, guys? Ax plus by equals c. Let's go ahead and do that one. So for the x-intercept, y is equal to 0. So in this equation, anywhere I see y, I'm going to put a 0. So I just did that. So 4x is equal to 8. Let's find the value of x. Divide by 4 on both sides. So x is equal to 2. Your xy value, x is 2, y is 0. Very simple, right, guys? For the y-intercept, x is equal to 0. Anywhere I see x in the given, I'm going to replace that with a 0. And you see me out rewriting it for persons who can't follow. So it's 4 times 0 plus 2y is equal to 8. 4 times 0 is 0. So 2y is equal to 8. I divide by 2 on both sides because they're multiplying by 2 right here. That cancels. So y is equal to 4. Your xy value, x is 0 and y is 4. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you viewing my channel. Continue to watch. Let me know what you want me to explain for you, and I will do that momentarily. Okay, guys? Have a good one, and I'll see you on the next.